This is the plaintiff, Teresa Rose. She says she hired the defendant to replace a fence her horrible neighbor knocked down, and the guy took her money, and she got no fence. That's right, the man's a crook. She won't be a victim of this unscrupulous guy and is suing him for $5,000, the money she's owed. This is the defendant, Stephen Moskowitz. He says he was indeed hired to replace a fence the plaintiff was feuding with her neighbor about. The plaintiff wanted the neighbor to pay for the fence, and when he contacted them, they basically told him the plaintiff was nuts. In the end, he walked away from this kooky job and can't believe he's now being sued by this woman. He is accused of getting fenced in with a lawsuit.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Teresa Rose, you are suing Mr. Moskowitz and Renovex LLC. That is a fencing company, correct?
We install fences, we do roofs, we do siding.
For $5,000, $875 is a deposit that you've been wanting him to return to you, and he hasn't, and the rest is a, let's see, contract. I don't understand the rest. It says $7,000 contract for fence, 4 times the amount the contract would have been. Why? Okay. Well, tell me what's going on.
I was told that, you know, from somebody in the legal field that if there's a breach of contract, that you could sue a person for 5 times the amount that was owed.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, you need to get a real lawyer to
get
get you legal advice.
Yeah.
But the only thing they could remotely be saying is if somebody steals your money, they won't. There's a civil theft statute, and it's not 5 times. But in any event, let's put that to a side and let's talk about what happened in this case. What happened?
The fella that's next door to me, he's a not nice person.
Okay.
To say the least. He
Now, next door to you is a business, correct?
Yes.
And your home is next door to the business?
Yes.
Okay.
From a park position, they ripped out the fence, and it was out of the ground.
Okay, but what do you mean? You can't do that from a parked position. They had to have moved.
They had backed their truck in several times to get a good aim.
To get a good aim at the fence? Oh, so you think they destroyed the fence on purpose?
Yes.
Did you see that happen?
I was hearing them rev up the truck, and when I got to the front door...
Why would they do that? For the fence is on their property or yours?
The fence is my fence. It's on my property. It's nowhere near their property.
Oh, so did you call the police to say that there was criminal mischief?
They're friends with the...
How many times have you called the police?
I've called them maybe 12 times on them.
I think they're tired of going there.
They have all the neighbors calling on them. There's good 50, 60 calls on them, and nothing ever happens to these people.
And why do you figure?
Because they do forensic cleanup, and they're friends with the...
All right. So in any event, at some point, they're not who you're suing. You're suing this gentleman. What happened with the fence?
They said, you know, we're responsible. They never apologized, but they said they were responsible. So I needed to hire somebody. I got several different estimates. He was the most reasonable.
Okay, so he gives you an estimate of $1,750. Go on.
Yes, and we had discussed it, and I would give him the money, right? The half the money, and I made another bank check for the end of the project. So even if he had a problem with the people next door, he's going to get his money. We need to get the job done.
Okay, and then you were going to chase the people for reimbursement.
Oh, yeah,
okay, so what happens?
He had a problem with the people next door. He made a second contract with the people next door.
What happened with the people next door?
Well, basically, she wanted me to go, she basically wanted her back part of the fence fixed also, and she wanted to somehow make the fire people pay for it also.
All right, so she was trying to pass off a repair on the back on them.
Right.
Okay,
and basically, the repair for the whole thing, we tried to build the price up so that they would pay.
Oh, so you were in on that with her?
Well, she asked me to do her the favor.
The favor of being a fraud? Okay. So both of you are now trying to get somebody to pay for something they shouldn't.
Listen, I just wanted to get the front done because she...
Then just charge for the front and tell her no.
Right. So basically, we got down to the point where they weren't going to pay for the back, and we made a next payment of $1,300.
No, wait, stop. You then make another contract with them?
No, they keep Teresa's contract, and Teresa re-signs it at $1,300 because they were only willing to pay $650.
I'm sorry, you make a second contract, and how much is the second contract for?
$1,300.
Okay, can I see it?
Sure.
So, did you sign a second contract?
No, I did not.
Okay, where's her signature here? Because I'm having trouble finding
Read
it.
it on the back.
John Rose. Who's John Rose?
That's my brother. He wouldn't sign that.
Okay, well, what ends up happening? Let's talk about what happens. You had given him a deposit of $875?
I gave him $875.
That's accurate, right? You admit that?
No, we never cashed it. It was just something that we should hold as collateral so that we get paid for the other
Do you
thing.
have it here?
We don't have it. She has the slip. I have a copy.
I'm sorry, wait a second. Your defense to a lawsuit is I never cashed it and you didn't bring it to court?
Here, we have it right here, a copy, because she was
No,
holding.
I want it. Where is it?
She
So I
has
know
the
you
check.
didn't where is, I'm sorry. The $875 never was handed to you?
Correct. She had it there so that if I didn't get paid the second half, she would give it to me. It was collateral that she was holding. She said,
Yeah,
here's.
but collateral normally means you're holding it, not she's
Right,
holding it.
but
So it
I
makes
was-
no sense. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a deposit. I'm writing a check for $875, but I'm putting it in my pocket. That doesn't make any sense. According to you, you gave him the $875, right?
Gave it to
and
the company.
did he cash it?
I thought he didn't, but I found out just recently he had cashed it the very next day.
Can I see proof of that? And if Teresa's your client, who is John Rose, and why are you accepting that electronic signature as your client?
We emailed it to her and it came back signed.
Yeah, I know. It came back signed by a different human. So that, She's saying that she has proof that you cashed the check.
As far as I know, she's saying that she gave me a check, Stephen Moskowitz, that's who she's suing. She never gave me a check.
No, who's Renovex?
Renovex is a company that I work with.
This is the check I had given him.
Right, her whole
bank-
case.
Wait, when you say wait, stop a second. You're the vice president of Renovex.
Right,
Do you own it?
no.
Who owns it?
It's owned by about 6, 7 people.
Are you one of them?
No.
Is your wife one of them?
My wife is one of the people that own it.
Did Renovex cash the check?
I'm not aware of that.
You say in your defense, we never cashed a check. In fact, let's read exactly how you said it. Plaintiff gave us an $875 money order to hold in good faith.
Yes.
Yeah, what happened is she never gave it to us.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Are contractors basically honest? What do you say?
That's debatable.
Well, it's one or the other. What is it? You're saying no. I can tell.
No.
Bad experience?
I just think you have to find the right one.
What do you say?
I say yes because I'm a contractor.
Ooh, are you really?
And I've been doing it for 40 years and never...
Never had a complaint?
No.
You know what? We have a lot of people in the People's Court who come in and say exact same thing and they lose.
Well, I've never had that happen.
Oh, I was just kidding you. Okay, I was just kidding you. Going inside the courtroom.
I have the $875. I have a copy of it. But as far as I know, we never cashed
Where
it.
did she give it to you, or didn't she give it to you? I didn't ask what you came to court with because
Right.
you're unprepared. I asked, did she give it to you? And your answer was she didn't give it to us. She was holding it.
Right, that's as far as I remember. If we did...
Seriously? That's the deposit. You have your clients keep their deposits. That's how you do business. You've been in business how long?
No, because I normally...
Why isn't the company in your name? You have judgments against you.
I have some judgments against.
Okay, so I think you know what a deposit is and how you get security. All right, so I have here the following: a check, a bank check written to Renovex, and Renovex endorsing it, and it coming out of her account.
If that was the case, we would give her the $875 back
Yeah, why didn't you?
because she never asked for it. She never requested it.
I'm sorry. When did you give him the $875?
I gave it to him on the 16th of November 16th.
Yeah, and then what happens? No offense?
No offense.
Excuses? Tell me about the
Constant
excuses.
And first he was putting it together, before Christmas, so we have to wait until after Christmas. And then it's bad weather. Then he starts saying about the people next door, which I totally believe, because I know their behavior, that he was having so much problems with him, you know, that he
But
didn't
why
want-
would that be a problem? You said you were willing to pay him.
And I told
Right.
him, forget
and then
about
you worry
them.
about chasing them.
I made both checks for
so
him.
in the end, you never
to
got
prove.
a fence, but he kept your $875, right?
And I had thought the whole time that he did not, you know, cash that check. He was just going to hold it.
But why didn't you just look at your bank account? You would have seen he cashed it.
It's a bank check. I don't have a bank account. I'm on SSI. I'm disabled.
Right, but you know that to buy that bank check, you gave $875, right?
Yes,
All right.
twice.
Okay.
For both ends, to prove to him that in good faith that I
Okay,
wanted
the
the
other one, the
contract
second
done.
one, you still
I
have.
kept, yeah.
Okay, so you can get your money back for that one with the bank. And if you didn't deposit the first one, you would be handing it to me now, which is what your statement said. She gave us one to hold. You just hand it to me now. Hand it to me now so I can give it back to her.
No, if that's the case, then the
If
office
that's the
did
case,
it.
then you're a crook.
No, we would return the check. if
Yeah,
she would have
that you weren't supposed to deposit, so you're kind of a crook. All right, let me see what your actual damages are. You were out the 8, so what ended up happening with the fence? Is it still
It's
broken?
still not fixed.
So we have $875 that you are out, and he is obviously going to pay that. But I am also, because I find that he converted your money and they took it, it's basically a civil theft because he knows he cashed it. He's acting like he doesn't know. He's strung you along. He knows it needed to be returned. I'm going to assess an additional $1,000 in punitive damages and rule in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,875 in damages plus your court costs. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff does prevail. She gets her $875 back plus a $1,000 punitive levy that she gave against you. What do you think about all that?
Well, she wanted $5,000, so that's still $3,100 less.
So you're okay with that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
The judge hit you with a $1,000 punitive damage, and you're well, that's okay. It's like you expected it almost.
Well, I mean, she never tried to call us or reach us, but we would have given her back.
You know, I mean, you did not come off looking very good
No.
in this lawsuit. You know, I mean, it really made you look very bad.
All right?
Okay,
Well,
thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
You must sign a few documents. Now, Ms. Rose is on her way out of the courtroom. You should be smiling right now. How do you feel? I know you don't have a fence yet. That's a big problem.
No, that's the big problem. I have
Exactly.
to. It's going to cost $26.40 for a new person to do. You know, so I
You mean the
couldn't-
cost has gone up that much, or
It-
you couldn't
it-
get a better estimate?
I couldn't get a better estimate than that, and you know, it needs to be done. You
Well-
know, at least now I have, you know.
Yeah, you're almost there. You got
Yeah.
$1,875 today, and it wasn't $5,000, which you wanted. It's a lot better than just $875, right?
That's for sure.
Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you very
Good for you.
much.
All right. Thank
Take
you very
care.
much. On your way. Very interesting case, Harvey. What do you think?
Okay, Doug, well, look, the defendant was playing a shell game, hiding behind the company that cashed the check, and the judge busted him. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.